Let's make history.
I love this game. I live this game. Obsession's gonna be talent every time. You got all the talent in the world, but are you obsessed?
Way I know for somebody who has time
Word.
and a little bit of money, the number one thing is flipping. You can't do much with $1,000. So for me, the one place to take $1,000 and make it 10,000 is garage sales and flea markets and thrift stores and dollar stores, Marshalls, TJ Maxx. It's all just work. Download the Amazon and eBay apps, scan shit for an hour or two, and people are just not putting in the work.
The word hustle comes from a Dutch word, hoeselen, which meant to shake up or rattle. This was first recorded in the 1600s. Roughly 200 years later, hustle took on a whole new meaning. It became synonymous with jostle, as in to rough someone up. At the same time, it also took on the meaning to supposedly accidentally bump into someone, but actually bumping into them on purpose in an attempt to pickpocket them. Then, fast forward to the 20th century, the early 1900s, it became a term in the African American community, or more so a positive term, which meant to go out of your way to secure as many streams of income as you possibly could, whether that was another job or engage in several other odd jobs. In the 1970s, with the birth of hip-hop culture, hustle became used more than it ever had been before. It took on an entirely different context, which it became a mandatory thing to get off your butt, get out there, and do whatever it is you had to do to provide for yourself, your family, and to upgrade your life in general. Growing up uptown in East Harlem, you're judged by your level of hustle, the level of hustle you have in you. That's how people are going to judge you. You know, if you don't have that hustle, if you don't have that drive to go out there and better yourself and look the part at the same time, people actually look down on you. It's New York City in general, but it's especially in, uptown and East Harlem and Harlem. That's like the culture. I was fortunate though, at a young age, my father took me out to the street, down to the concrete, and showed me how to approach people, in a respectful way, and just sell items on the street. He told me you never have to beg somebody or do something that's beneath your principles just to earn money. There's always a way you can get it. I remember when it was fashionable for people to leave greeting on their answering service, saying something to the effect of, if this call is not about money, don't bother to contact me. People were actually leaving this greeting on their answering service. A good friend of mine did that. It's a way of life. When it becomes so expensive to live in the city where you have to spend your every waking moment chasing that dollar, or you're just struggling, it becomes a lifestyle, almost like a religion. On one level, it's positive because it instills in someone to have higher standards, to always raise the bar, and to always push yourself to do better and to do more, and to be bigger and better. That New York hustle, that New York state of mind, that grit, you can run yourself in the hole, and it's like it's never enough. You keep going, wearing yourself down day after day, and it's just never enough. You end up living your life as if you're on a hamster wheel, just going round and round with no real destination. It becomes pretty vacant.
Wealth, popularity, happiness, fulfillment. These will all be yours if you sacrifice everything else in life and just work as hard as you possibly can. And we've absorbed this message so much as a culture that being too busy for anything else and being a hashtag entrepreneur is now such a badge of honor, where we feel so good saying that, like we're better than anyone else when we bring it up in conversation or put it in our dating app profiles. And through the years, research is finally showing us how dangerous this can actually be to have a singular focus to the detriment of everything else. And there's another darker side to hustle culture that hasn't been brought to light yet. The ugly effect that it has on the way we view one another. We begin to see people as these utility pieces, just ways for us to make more money and to be stepping stones to our own accomplishments. For the past 82 years, researchers at Harvard have been studying the lives of 724 men and their eventual spouses and children to understand what actually makes for a fulfilling and successful life.
Many of our men, when they were starting out as young adults, really believed that fame and wealth and high achievement were what they needed to go after. But over and over these 75 years, our study has shown that the people who fared the best were the people who leaned into relationships with family, with friends, with community.
Leave your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to Will Flores TV on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and X.